Across the vast landscape of Chinese mythology, one creature stands above all others, the dragon. Serpentine in shape, often wingless yet soaring through the skies, the Chinese dragon isn't the monster you might expect. It's not something to be feared or slain. Instead, it's a symbol of wisdom, power, and balance in the universe. You'll find dragons everywhere in Chinese culture, from the curved rooftops of ancient temples to the silk robes worn by emperors, to the lively dragon dances that light up Chinese New Year celebrations. Dragons are deeply embedded in the cultural DNA of a civilization that stretches back more than 5,000 years. Known as Long, Chinese dragons aren't just mythological creatures, they're icons of identity and tradition. They appear in stories passed down through generations, in the imagination of those who see them as protectors, rain-bringers, and symbols of good fortune. They represent a rhythm that connects nature with society. To truly understand Chinese dragons, you have to let go of the idea of what a dragon is in the West. In Western stories, dragons hoard treasure and breathe fire. But in Chinese culture, they bring rain, drive away evil, and guide the righteous. They are respected and revered. Where Western dragons often bring chaos, Chinese dragons bring order. Where the West sees destruction, the Chinese see growth. They also embody human ideals, intelligence, strength, and virtue. Chinese emperors were once called the Son of the Dragon, a title that linked their rule to divine authority. Even now, being born in the year of the dragon is thought to be lucky, a sign of great things to come. In art, dragons appear with clouds and water, showing their control over the elements. In stories, they take the shape of wise kings, fierce guardians, and loyal companions. They aren't just legends, they're living symbols of China's soul. And the more you learn about them, the clearer it becomes. The dragon is far more than a myth. It's a lasting symbol of identity, power, and cultural continuity. The story of the Chinese dragon begins long before the first written records. Archaeological discoveries show that dragon-like figures were honored as far back as 7,000 years ago. In ancient burial sites, jade and pottery objects have been found with elegant coiled shapes, early signs that these creatures had deep spiritual meaning. One of the earliest and most famous dragon artifacts comes from the Hongshan culture in what is now northeastern China. There, archaeologists uncovered a jade dragon with a curled body and a pig-like head, dating back to around 4,700 BCE. Known as the C-shaped dragon, this piece gives us a rare glimpse into the beliefs of early Chinese societies. For them, the dragon wasn't just a decoration. It may have been a tribal totem or a sacred creature connected to the natural world. As ancient civilizations grew in the Yellow River Basin, images of dragons appeared more often, especially in art and pottery. In the Liangzhu culture, jade objects from around 3,300 to 2,300 BCE often featured dragon-like patterns. These designs weren't just beautiful, they carried meaning. People carved dragons into items used in worship and burial, showing the dragon's importance in rituals and beliefs about the afterlife. Pottery from this time also shows snake-like creatures winding across urns and vases. These weren't just creative flourishes. They reflected a worldview that respected the forces of nature, especially water and rain, which were essential for survival. Even in these early times, the dragon stood for harmony between people and the natural world. As the Shang and Zhou dynasties came to power between 1600 and 256 BCE, the dragon became even more important. It shifted from being a tribal symbol to a powerful being in the heavens, connected to the elements. Ancient writings and oracle bones from these times mention dragons in ceremonies tied to rain, fertility, and royal destiny. During this period, local legends started to blend into bigger myths. The dragon took on more distinct features: horns, claws, scales, and became linked to thunder and clouds. This wasn't just a change in appearance. It marked the dragon's rise as a divine figure and a national symbol. One of the most legendary figures tied to the dragon is the Yellow Emperor, or Huangdi. Some stories say he was born of a dragon or even transformed into one when he died, ascending to heaven. As a mythological ancestor of the Chinese people, his connection to the dragon lifted the creature's status even further. From this point on, dragons weren't just part of stories. They became symbols of dynasties, rulers of weather, and signs of imperial power. They formed a link between nature, myth, and politics, creating a symbol that would last for thousands of years. In Chinese mythology, the dragons of legend are more than just majestic creatures. They are rulers of nature, symbols of power, and central figures in countless tales passed down through generations. One of the most famous legends is that of the four dragon kings, powerful deities who rule over the four seas surrounding China. Each king governs a different direction and its associated body of water. Algong, the dragon king of the East Sea, is connected with the East China Sea and the Yangtze River. He represents spring and the wood element. Alqin rules the South Sea and the Pearl River, symbolizing summer and the fire element. Balsun governs the North Sea and Lake Baikal, standing for winter and the water element. Anaurun, the dragon king of the West Sea, is linked to Qinghai Lake and the metal element, embodying autumn. According to legend, these four brothers were born to the dragon king and were each given a sea to rule. Aurung's story is especially moving. At first, he had no sea of his own, but the Jade Emperor, touched by his loyalty, created Qinghai Lake for him. These kings not only control the waters, they influence rain, tides, and even human fortune. They appear in stories as both generous and just, or stern and punishing, showing their deep connection to both the spiritual and natural worlds. Another legendary figure is the Yellow Dragon, or Huanglong, a celestial dragon closely tied to the birth of Chinese civilization. One famous story tells of the Yellow Dragon rising from the Luo River to deliver writing to the Yellow Emperor, an act that marked the start of Chinese characters. In some versions, the dragon carried a divine diagram that guided the emperor in shaping early Chinese government and philosophy. The Yellow Dragon also helped the emperor win key battles and is often seen as a symbol of central China, the birthplace of Chinese culture. Its golden color represents the earth element and imperial authority, adding to its importance as a national icon. Dragons also play key roles in Chinese classics like Journey to the West. In that story, the dragon prince of the West Sea is punished by the Jade Emperor and transformed into a white horse to serve the monk Xuanzang on his journey to India. Through loyalty and service, he finds redemption. His transformation from a reckless prince into a faithful companion is a powerful symbol of humility and personal growth. In other stories, dragons appear as wise mentors, fierce protectors, or mystical challengers. In Fengxianyeni, the investiture of the gods, dragons fight alongside heavenly warriors or lend their powers to heroes. These stories show that dragons are not just static symbols. They grow, evolve, and teach just like people do. The connection between dragons and the emperor runs deep. For centuries, Chinese rulers claimed they were descendants of dragons. This divine link gave their rule cosmic legitimacy. During the Han Dynasty, the five-clawed dragon became the exclusive symbol of the emperor. No one else was allowed to use it. Doing so was considered treason. Imperial palaces were filled with dragon imagery, from the grand pillars to the emperor's own clothing. His robes were called Long Pao, or dragon robes, decorated with golden dragons flying among clouds. Even the throne itself was known as the Dragon Throne. This wasn't just about decoration. It was spiritual. The dragon was proof that the emperor's authority came from heaven. It reminded the people, and the ruler himself, that he was chosen to maintain harmony and order in the world. In Chinese history, dragons have always been more than just mythical creatures. They were the ultimate symbols of power, authority, and cosmic order. For thousands of years, the dragon represented the emperor's divine right to rule. It was directly tied to the mandate of heaven, the belief that a ruler's authority came from a higher cosmic force. But not all dragons were equal. Only the emperor could use the five-clawed dragon. Nobles and officials were allowed dragons with 4 or 3 claws, a visual reminder of the strict hierarchy in imperial China. This wasn't just about status. It was about reinforcing the sacred nature of the emperor's position. Dragons appeared everywhere in the imperial court. Inside the Forbidden City, they decorated robes, thrones, walls, columns, and even utensils. To the public, these symbols were not just beautiful designs. They were proof of the emperor's heavenly connection. His face was called the dragon face, and his sons were referred to as dragon sons. Dragons weren't limited to palaces. They came to life during traditional Chinese festivals. One of the most famous is the Dragon Boat Festival, held on the 5th day of the 5th lunar month. Across China and beyond, communities race long boats shaped like dragons. These races are more than exciting competitions. They are rooted in ancient rituals to honor river spirits and call for rain during the planting season. The festival also became linked with the poet Chu Yuan, but the dragon's presence has always remained central. It's a celebration of tradition, nature, and the community's shared hopes. Another key tradition is the dragon dance, performed during the Lunar New Year. Teams of dancers carry a long, colorful dragon costume on poles, weaving through streets with dramatic twists and turns. The dragon's movements mimic flying or swimming, and the performance is believed to scare off evil spirits and bring blessings for the year ahead. It's not just entertainment, it's a cultural ritual of protection and prosperity. The dragon also holds a special place in Chinese astrology. Among the 12 animals of the Chinese zodiac, the dragon is the only mythical one. People born in the year of the dragon are seen as ambitious, smart, and full of energy. It's the most auspicious sign, and many families hope to have children in dragon years. Dragon years come every 12 years, like 2000, 2012, and 2024, and often lead to baby booms in East Asia. This shows just how strongly people believe in the dragon's power to shape destiny. In astrology, the dragon is linked to the earth element and yang energy, which is bold, active, and outward-facing. Depending on the cycle, each dragon year also carries a second element: wood, fire, earth, metal, or water, which adds specific personality traits to people born in that year. Beyond the stars and festivals, dragons have inspired martial artists for centuries. Dragon-style kung fu, developed in southern China, copies the graceful yet explosive power of the dragon. Movements are low, coiled, and sudden, just like a dragon striking from water or air. Stories tell of martial artists who gained strength from dragon spirits, or who received dragon-shaped weapons in dreams. These tales are metaphors for discipline, inner strength, and harmony with nature. Even today, in kung fu films and pop culture, the dragon remains a symbol of transformation and excellence. It continues to shape how people express identity, strength, and connection to a deeper cultural legacy. Chinese dragons come in many forms, each with its own powers, personality, and purpose. These different dragons reflect the rich and varied beliefs found throughout Chinese mythology and culture. The most well-known is the Ong, the classic celestial dragon. This is the dragon most people picture when they think of Chinese mythology. It has a long, snake-like body, antler-like horns for legs, and a flowing beard. It can fly without wings, gliding through the sky with ease. The long represents imperial power and the divine connection between heaven and earth. It is wise, noble, and deeply respected. Often seen in art chasing a flaming pearl, this dragon is linked with enlightenment and the pursuit of truth. Then there's the Yinglong, one of the rare Chinese dragons with wings. According to legend, Yinglong helped great rulers like the Yellow Emperor in epic battles. He is also known as a rainbringer, shaping rivers and calming floods. His wings aren't just physical, they represent his divine mission and freedom. Yinglong is less common in stories, but his strength and role in shaping the land make him a powerful figure. The Shunlong, or spiritual dragon, is the master of weather. It controls wind, rain, clouds, and storms. Shunlong is usually invisible to ordinary people and only shows itself during special celestial events or to those who are truly worthy. It's often shown in blue or green, symbolizing its connection to the sky and water. If honored, Shunlong brings harmony and rain. If angered, it may unleash destructive storms. That's why farmers and emperors once held ceremonies to pray for its favor, especially during droughts. While some dragons rule the skies, others stay close to the earth. The Dilong, or earth dragon, lives in rivers, valleys, and underground water systems. It's associated with land fertility and seismic activity. In ancient belief, earthquakes were thought to happen when the earth dragon moved. Unlike sky dragons, Dilong doesn't fly. It stays grounded, representing the hidden but powerful forces beneath the surface of the land. Another important type is the Panlong, the coiled dragon of lakes and streams. Panlong is gentle and protective, often seen wrapped around rocks or flowing with the current. It's a guardian of peaceful, natural places like marshes and quiet rivers. In architecture and decoration, Panlong is a popular motif, especially on bridges and fountains. It symbolizes calm strength and quiet harmony. Each of these dragons has a specific domain and purpose. Along rules the heavens and represents imperial authority. Yinglong brings rain and has wings, symbolizing heroic action. A Shunlong controls the weather and is linked to ceremonies for rain. Dilong governs the land, rivers, and underground water. Panlong protects lakes and streams, symbolizing peaceful nature. There's also a deeper philosophy tied to these dragons, the concept of yin and yang. The dragon is considered a yang creature, bright, active, strong, and masculine. But it is often shown alongside the phoenix, a yin symbol of grace, femininity, and peace. Together, they represent balance and unity, especially in marriage and partnership. The dragon's ever-changing form and flowing movements also reflect transformation and adaptability, qualities essential to balance in life. It reminds us that true strength comes not from brute force, but from harmony with the natural world. Chinese dragons are everywhere in traditional art and architecture, especially in sacred and imperial spaces. Their images aren't just decorative, they're meant to protect, inspire, and show the connection between heaven and earth. In temples and palaces, dragons often appear on rooftops, beams, gates, and walls. On temple roofs, you'll see dragons lined up along the ridges, looking like they're flying above the building. These rooftop dragons are thought to guard the space, keep out evil spirits, and invite good energy from the heavens. With open mouths, flowing whiskers, and twisting bodies, they seem alive, watching over the people below. In imperial places like the Forbidden City in Beijing, dragon imagery is everywhere. The five-clawed imperial dragon, a symbol reserved only for the emperor, appears on throne rooms, columns, stone steps, and ceremonial halls. It reinforces the emperor's role as a divine ruler, chosen by heaven to maintain cosmic order. Dragons carved in wood, painted on ceilings, and molded into floor tiles all serve to remind everyone of the emperor's heavenly authority. In Chinese calligraphy and painting, dragons are both subject and symbol. Artists use sweeping brushstrokes to capture the dragon's motion and energy. They often show dragons rising through clouds, coiling through mist, or chasing a flaming pearl. These scenes symbolize transformation, wisdom, and the ever-changing power of nature. Even when not directly drawing dragons, calligraphers may use dragon-like strokes, fluid lines with bursts of power, to express inner strength and the flow of qi, or life energy. This style has inspired generations of artists and reflects the deep connection between the dragon and Chinese philosophy. Clothing and jewelry have also featured dragon designs for centuries. In ancient China, only emperors and crown princes could wear dragon-embroidered robes, known as longpao. These garments were covered with golden dragons flying among clouds, stitched with incredible detail to show authority and spiritual power. Today, dragon motifs still appear in traditional clothing, wedding dresses, and festival costumes. They are believed to bring luck, strength, and pride. In jewelry, dragons are crafted from gold, jade, or silver. A dragon pendant or bracelet is worn for protection or to attract prosperity. When paired with a phoenix, especially in wedding jewelry, they stand for a balanced and happy union. In modern Chinese design, dragons continue to inspire. Architects use dragon-like curves in bridges, buildings, and public spaces. The dragon's coiled shape brings a sense of energy and movement to structures, making them feel alive and connected to nature. Graphic designers use dragon symbols in logos, branding, and digital media. The dragon, often drawn with clean lines and bold colors, helps companies express strength, tradition, and cultural identity. In fashion and pop culture, dragons appear on sneakers, tattoos, and even music videos. These modern forms blend ancient meaning with today's creativity. Whether carved into stone or lit up in neon, the Chinese dragon remains a living symbol, one that connects the past with the present and continues to shape the art and spirit of China. Chinese dragons and Western dragons may share the same name, but they are very different in both appearance and meaning. In Chinese culture, dragons are called long and are seen as wise, powerful, and connected to nature. They have long, snake-like bodies covered in scales, with features taken from different animals, like deer antlers, eagle claws, and the neck of a snake. They usually don't have wings, but they can still fly through the sky with ease. Western dragons, on the other hand, are often portrayed as giant, winged reptiles with bulky bodies. They look more like lizards or dinosaurs and usually have large bat-like wings, sharp horns, and the ability to breathe fire. They appear strong and dangerous, and their overall look is more aggressive and threatening. The biggest difference is in what they represent. Chinese dragons stand for good fortune, wisdom, and balance. They control water, rain, and weather, things that are essential for life and farming. They are divine and helpful, often called upon to protect people or bless the land. In contrast, Western dragons are usually symbols of greed, destruction, and chaos. They are the villains in many legends, creatures that hoard treasure, burn villages, and must be defeated by brave heroes. In Chinese culture, dragons are seen as guardians. They bring rain to help crops grow, and are honored in dances and festivals meant to bring luck and happiness. Even when they show anger, it's usually to restore balance or punish wrongdoing, not out of pure malice. Western dragons, though, are usually feared. They often stand for the unknown or evil forces that must be overcome. The classic story of a knight slaying a dragon is all about good triumphing over evil. Because dragons have such different meanings in the East and the West, misunderstandings can happen. Someone unfamiliar with Chinese culture might see a dragon and think it's scary or dangerous. That's why Chinese New Year parades with dragon dances are sometimes misread as monster celebrations instead of rituals for good luck. Similarly, when dragons appear in Chinese symbols or flags, they aren't meant to scare people. They're signs of tradition, pride, and power rooted in peace. Understanding these differences helps us see the dragon in a new way. It's not just a creature from fantasy. It's a window into how cultures view nature, power, and the world around them. In China, the dragon isn't a beast to defeat, it's a symbol to respect. It brings harmony, not destruction. And by seeing it through this lens, we gain a deeper appreciation for its role in one of the world's oldest and richest cultures. In modern China, the dragon is still a powerful symbol that represents cultural pride, unity, and national identity. While it once symbolized the emperor's divine right to rule, today it reflects the spirit of the Chinese people as a whole. Phrases like descendants of the dragon are commonly used to express this deep connection to tradition and heritage. The dragon is no longer just a myth, it's a living emblem of strength, history, and continuity. You'll see dragons in national costumes, public monuments, logos, and official artwork. They are used to convey dignity, strength, and the enduring soul of the Chinese nation. The dragon remains at the heart of cultural storytelling and identity, linking the past to the present. In contemporary media and pop culture, the image of the Chinese dragon has taken on new life. In films, video games, and animation, dragons appear as noble protectors, wise beings, or ancient spirits. Their designs often mix traditional features with modern visual effects, creating creatures that are both majestic and familiar. Movies like Mulan, Kung Fu Panda, and Chinese films like The Great Wall have brought dragon-like characters to global audiences. In video games such as League of Legends and Genshin Impact, dragons rooted in Chinese mythology appear as powerful allies or foes, continuing their role as spiritual and natural forces. Outside China, the dragon's influence continues to grow. Tattoo artists, fashion designers, and digital creators around the world use dragon imagery to express elegance, energy, and cultural meaning. The dragon's form, fluid, bold, and powerful, makes it a favorite symbol in global design. One of the most vivid ways the dragon appears in modern life is through the dragon dance. This ancient tradition is especially popular during Chinese New Year and other major festivals. Teams of performers carry a long dragon costume, bringing it to life with rhythm and movement as drums and firecrackers fill the air. Originally meant to drive away evil spirits and invite blessings, the dragon dance has become a symbol of celebration and community spirit. Today, dragon dances are performed around the world, from local parades to international events like the Olympics. Some performances even use LED lights and modern choreography to blend tradition with technology. But the core meaning stays the same. The dragon brings good fortune, joy, and energy wherever it goes. Chinese dragons also continue to inspire art, film, and literature in fresh ways. In visual art, they are reimagined through graffiti, abstract painting, and multimedia installations. Their flowing forms and mythical presence make them a favorite subject for creative expression. Writers use dragons to explore themes of heritage, transformation, and strength. Authors like Lawrence Yep and Grace Lin include dragons in books for young readers, introducing new generations to Chinese myths in ways that feel both ancient and new. In architecture and city design, dragon symbolism still plays a role. Bridges shaped like dragons, buildings designed with flowing curves, and city layouts that follow feng shui principles all reflect the dragon's lasting influence. Whether in books, movies, performances, or skylines, the Chinese dragon continues to thrive. It has adapted to the modern world without losing its roots. It remains a symbol of imagination, cultural pride, and timeless inspiration. The Chinese dragon continues to capture the imagination because it stands for values that never go out of style: wisdom, strength, and harmony with nature. Unlike many mythical creatures that fade into history, the dragon remains alive in the hearts and traditions of millions. From ancient jade carvings to modern skyscrapers, from royal robes to digital art, the dragon has always been more than just a legend. It's a powerful symbol of cultural identity and enduring spirit. In today's fast-changing world, the dragon reminds us of the importance of balance between tradition and innovation, power and kindness, humanity and nature. It teaches us that real strength comes with grace, and that true leadership comes from serving and protecting others. As a living symbol, the Chinese dragon bridges the past and the future. It encourages people to face challenges with courage, to hold on to their roots while embracing new possibilities, and to believe in the power of resilience and unity. It is more than a myth. It is a source of pride, a guide for growth, and a lasting inspiration for generations to come. For more details on this topic, check out the corresponding article on our website. You can find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.